Hello everyone, John Odom, drum set and percussion teacher here in East Orlando. And today I want to do a short lesson on how to play shuffles, okay? I've got about like 6 or 7 students that are currently working on the shuffle groove. And so I want to go ahead and just film a lesson for them and for anyone else who is thinking about working on shuffles or you just want to learn how to play them. It's very important actually to learn how to play shuffles because when you understand and learn how to play the shuffle groove, then that will actually help you to understand other ideas and of other grooves and of other songs. And so it always, any style of music we learn, we can actually take ideas from that particular style, the grooves that you play with that style, and apply them to other styles or other songs you might learn. So the number one thing I believe to understand about the shuffle groove, okay, it is a triplet bass groove or based on triplets, okay? So it has basically what you can describe as a bounce to it, okay? It's kind of like a bouncy groove, okay? Now, how do you play triplets? Well, triplets are 3 notes per quarter note, okay? And they have a certain flow to them. I like to tell my students to understand triplets, imagine being on a swing, going back and forth. So 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet. That's how you count them. All right, 3 notes per quarter note, and you just say 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet. How do you play them? Well, if you start on the hi-hat with your right hand, you can just start playing triplets, okay? 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet, 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet. Now, in order to play the shuffle groove, okay, you're going to play your downbeat or your quarter note. 1, you're going to leave the trip out. You're not going to play the trip. You're going to play the let. So you could count it like this: 1, let 2, let 3, let 4, let 1, let 2, let 3, let 4. That's one way to count. There's a few different ways to count this groove. I also share with my students and I advise them, and the way I count it, I count shuffles when I'm playing them. 1, a 2, a 3, a 4, a 1, a 2, a 3, a 4. Now the important thing is, when you're playing a shuffle, it has to remain a shuffle. All right, so we can't do this. If you start playing a shuffle, 1, a 2, a 3, a 4, you can't allow it to start to go flat or flatten out and become an 8th note groove. It has to remain a shuffle, okay? So similar to when you're playing 8th note grooves, okay? With the shuffle, your kick and snare will line up with your hi-hat pattern, okay? So if you come in with your bass drum on 1 and 3, your snare drum on 2 and 4, counting is so important, right? Then you're going to come up with a groove similar to this, okay? 1, a 2, a 3, a 4, a 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 1. That's a very basic shuffle pattern. Every time I'm teaching my students, when we first learn the first pattern for a song or the first groove, I call that the core pattern. Okay, that's like your simple groove or your basic groove. And then from there we may add other items. We may throw in some more notes or some other rhythmic ideas. But you always want to start off when you're first learning to play drums, any pattern, any style. Start off with the what I call the core groove. Now, there are several popular songs actually, that are a shuffle groove. And the first song that I have my students who are learning shuffles, the first song I have them learn is a very popular song, How Sweet It Is to Be Loved by You by James Taylor. Now, this song actually starts off with a fill. Whether you're listening to it on YouTube, like I am, whether you're Spotify, it can be a little difficult, can be a little challenging to get, start your song, come over and play that first fill, right? I always tell my students, do the best you can with that, but don't stress about that. Now, if you're going to play this, say, as a cover song with a band, since you're the drummer, you're the one, you're going to look at each other, you're going to be the one who starts it off, okay? The drummer actually starts this song, but you're going to make sure your bandmates are ready, so we don't stress about that. So anyway, I'm going to start kind of just going through the song here and just show you some different ideas, because again, everything we do in this song is all shuffle based, okay? So this will be the beginning. There's an intro, then it goes into verse 1, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and just demonstrate that. So that's where James Taylor sings the intro. He says, how sweet it is to be loved by you twice. You can play a little something there to get over into verse 1. Okay, and what I like to play, there's a few different things you can do here, but a 1, a 2, a 3, a 4, a 1, a 2, 3, 4, 1. Kick and open hat on 3, 4, snare on 4, and then into your groove. Okay, it's basically like a pause. I would call that a pausing your groove. Okay, you can do a couple of snare hits. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. Personally, I like something with an open hi-hat, with a hi-hat gliss sound. So just a couple different things you can do, but it's good to do a little something there. It's a little awkward to just keep playing the shuffle groove through that, because you want to acknowledge that transition there. Okay, back it up just a little bit and we'll keep going. Here we go. So in the song, in the verse, he says, I want to stop and thank you, baby. I just want to stop. Well, that's a good clue for the musicians. There's a cut there, okay? And then you're going to play a 1-bar fill, 4 beats, okay? Triplets, remember this is a triplet-based groove song. Triplets will work well for the fill. I believe that this needs to be the full 12 notes, right? You're playing triplets, you're playing 4 beats, 3 notes per quarter note. So I believe it's because you need to have the energy for this, right? For this fill, because you're the only one playing at this point. The drummer plays the fill, you bring the band back in. So there's a few different fills you can play here. You actually do this 3 times in the song. You get the chance to play this fill 3 times. I believe you can play 3 different fills, allowing for the drummer to be creative, as long as you play a fill that feels good, that sounds good, that fits in time. I think it'll work. So the most standard one, if you've got a 5-piece kit like this, so if you got your 3 toms, you can start on the snare and you can play 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet, 1. Okay, so it's three strokes per drum, right? 4 drums, and you need to play that with some accents. Okay, so you want to play accents. You want to play a little hi-hat here. 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet. Not just all even notes. The accents do make it just kind of brings more life, it breathes more life into this fill. Okay. Another fill idea, and this is something I was doing just recently, just kind of playing different ideas on the kit, and I always advise my students, and I advise everyone who plays the drum kit, Spend some time just playing your kit. You don't always have to play music. You don't always have to have a drum method book. You don't always have to practice with a metronome. All that is part of your learning, right? Should be part of your practice. But then spend some time just playing grooves and fills on the drum kit. That's how I discover a lot of the new ideas that I come up with. So I came up with, because it's 12 notes, you can play them in different combinations. What if we played 4 on the snare, 1 triplet, 2 notes on the high tom, triplet, and then 4-2 again. 4 on the mid tom, 3 triplet, 4, 2 on the 4 tom, triplet. Right? Be something like this. 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4. Okay? You could also do 2-4-2-4. Okay? You could do 4-2-3-3. So there's a lot of different combinations. Let me show you 2-4-2-4. So it'd be something like this. 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet, 1. Okay? If you wanted to do, say, 4-2-3-3. 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet, 1. So you can get creative with this. I'll show you one more idea here. There are more, but for the sake of time, I'm just going to show a few different fill ideas, and then everyone can rewatch the video and just go through all the different combinations. And then I encourage all of you to come up with your own. Another one that I like playing is this one here, where it goes, you start with a 4 tom, and you go back and forth between the 4 tom in the snare and the high tom in the snare. Right hand goes to the 4 tom, left hand goes up to the high tom, like this. 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet, 1. Incidentally, those are all single strokes. I'm not playing any double strokes here. It's all right, left, left, all the way around. Okay? So you play that 1 bar fill, then you go into the chorus. Now on the chorus, if you want to stay on the hi-hat, that's fine. If you want to switch to right cymbal, that's fine. Later on in the song, there is an 8-measure saxophone solo. So if you stay on the hi-hat for the verses and the chorus, I recommend going to the right cymbal for the sax solo. So at least that way you've got a different sound source, a different voice that you're using, and it just adds some nice variety to your groove. So let me go ahead and back up a little bit and continue here.
I wanna stop,
Phil?
thank you. Thank you.
if you want to go to the right, some on the outro, that's fine too. Now, the fill I just played, I actually learned from my drum teacher over 40 years ago when I was a kid, because in the church I grew up in, some of the songs that we played, and he also played in the gospel quartet, they would play some shuffles. And so I would watch him, and I was like, "Ooh, what's he doing up there?" And I'd ask him, and he would show me. So, but that fill, the way you count it, it's got to come in just like every other fill has to come in on the right beat, right? You got to stop, or let's say start and complete. I don't want to say stop, but start and complete fills on time, right? On the right beat, or else you're off beat. So the way that fill is played, 1, a 2, a 3, a 4, a 1, a 2, a 3, a 4, a 5. Okay? Now the other day I was playing around with this, and I came up with a new fill, even though again I've been playing this for a long time, most of my life. I was just trying different ideas the other day, and I came up with this little fill. And I've been showing my students this very recently. 1, a 2, a 3, a 4, a 1, a 2, so it's a drag, 2, a 3, a 4, and you can either do a gliss here, a 1, or hit the snare again, right? A 1, a 2, a 3, a 4, and it's very similar sticking, right? So all I'm doing is just kind of moving around the kit. Very important to practice your drags, okay? Because they're very useful. Any style of music you play, you can use drags, okay? I'll go ahead and finish the song, but yeah, that's basically just kind of a general idea of how to play this. This is more an instructional lesson, obviously, to work on shuffles. Let me finish this song up here. Back up just a little bit. I do not claim any rights to this song. I'm not re-recording it or anything like that. I'm just using the song strictly for instructional purposes. So that's a general idea of how to play the shuffle groove, a general idea of how to play triplet fills, how to count them. And as you see with shuffles, just like with your eighth note grooves, with most, I would say, several different styles of music, there are variations that we can play. So this is just the beginning of the shuffle groove. There are many different variations. It's a lot of fun I'm having a blast just teaching these to like 6 or 7 of my students right now. We're having a great time with this. So for drum lessons like this and much more, I'm currently teach at Orlando Fine Arts Academy. We are a music and art school in Lake Nona. In South Orlando. I also do go to students' homes here in the Orlando area. I'm also teaching with lessons in your home, and I teach both in-home lessons, and I'm also teaching virtual lessons or online lessons as well. I am enrolling a few more students, and so if you're looking for drum set, maybe some percussion lessons, the contact information will be here on the video. Thank you for watching. Hope you have a great day and take care.